So here's what would have happened with those 15-minute setups that we detailed yesterday. Again, this is just for educational purposes. We had that VTOP that we were talking about with the prior VTOP off screen. So the scenarios were 20 short, or pop up above these wicks here and then close back down anywhere above 601, I believe we mentioned. But none of that happened. It gapped down. Now this is all, of course, this is in hindsight, but given the fact that it gapped down, all I would do is I would just wait for the first reversal candlestick signal. So this is a bearish Harami. That is 603. The stop would go 15 ticks above, so 618, which is up here somewhere. And the target we mentioned was 80, which hit pretty much to the tick. It went one tick lower than 80. So it didn't do exactly what I said, but I couldn't give every scenario, so that's what I would have done. But technically speaking, it didn't fit any of the scenarios we mentioned, even if it did play out. And then 6B wouldn't have worked if you had taken that long. If I1 had taken that long there, then the stop was at 45. But again, the 30 target came into play and we bounced right off of that and came back down. So it's a case of just too soon, so that wouldn't have worked. Good idea, but stopped out on that one. And then 6C gapped down as well, so we had a long at 80 and we would have put the stop at 68 as I remember it. But again, because it gapped down, you wouldn't have even been able to go long there. So worst case scenario, you got long at 59.5 on the open as it's lower. You got your 12 tick stop, and 59.5 means 57.5, which just got missed here by half a tick, and then you would take it up to just beyond the whole number. So 69.5 to say 869.5 to 900.5 would give you 69.5, 31 ticks for your 12 ticks. So again, that didn't fit one of the scenarios I mentioned, but it would have been impossible to get that 80 fill, so it was impossible to get stopped. If you had just left an order on, market order on for the open, then you would have got filled there. Or maybe with slippage, in which case you might have got stopped, but technically speaking, at the open there, you would have got filled. If you wanted to be more savvy about it, you'd wait for a reversal candlestick here, still the same 12 ticks, and then you would have ended up with significantly more than 31 for 12. You would have ended up with, let's say 64, 36.5 to 12, so over a 3-to-1 on that one. So let's go with the worst case scenario. You open here at 69.5, 31.5 there. So let's do the math. On 6A, we would have ended up with, if you, let's go back and check actually, just a second. I'm gonna pause the video. Yeah, 6A, there was no way you obviously wouldn't short down here because the risk to reward would be out. You're aiming for 80 and you can't just short at 90 odd with a 15 tick stop, so you'd wait for it to come up, short here, which is 603, and then take it off at 80 for 23 ticks on 6A, or $230 per contract. So you would have ended up with 230 on 6A. Let's move over to 6B. 6B would have just been the loss, which would be 25 ticks minus 25 ticks. which ends up being, let me just get the calculator, that ends up being minus 100 and what did I just see there? Just a second. Minus 156.25, and then finally you had 6C. 6C, we said worst case scenario 31 ticks, so this is 6A, this is 6B, and then 6C, and then the worst case scenario, as we said, was plus 31 ticks. If you went from just from the open, you could have got more, like 36, but plus 31, which equals 310 per contract. So you would have made 230 plus 310, 540 minus 156, so that's just under 400. That's what 400 and 400, what's that, 300, let's go back, 540 minus 156.25 is 383.75, and then you'd have to take off your commission, so it would be like roughly 370 you would have made on those 3 trades. 2 wins, 1 loss. The risk, let me calculate the risk as well. The risk on those 3 trades, had they have all stopped out, was 426.25, and then plus commissions. So about, let's just call it 440. So of course 1 trade loss, 3 trades, so that the average risk would have been like 145, and so we made 145, 280, like 2.5 R, nearly 3 R. So yeah, that's it. You would have made 370 on those 3 trades. I will, if and when I do it again, I'll be sure to put in those alternate scenarios, because it didn't occur to me that we'd get gaps down, as it's the first time I'm doing it, and I forgot about the weekend, you know, Sunday going into Monday, so we'll have to, I didn't account for the Sunday into Monday gap that we pretty much always get or regularly get, so I'll be sure to do that next time. But those were the trade ideas, just to give an idea of how these things can work. My targets were pretty spot on all 3, but entry was wrong on 1 of the 3. So that's it for now. I'm going to throw this video out there raw, and back at it next time.